Hey guys, welcome to my new, I guess, art pieces, although these are more like collectibles maybe than art pieces, but I think still an art piece element to them. So these are these really awesome pins that my mom got for me and my brother when we were kids because she was working for Hasbro, and it was right when the time when Pokemon was just blowing up and they were making everything Pokemon, Pokemon toys and Pokemon this and that, and so she made a bunch of trips to Japan. She brought us back these pins. So first thing I just like so much about these pins is I just think they're beautifully made. Just the writing on them and the fact that it's like the English and Japanese characters, the fact that it says PocketMonster, which of course is the real name of Pokemon, but everyone calls it Pokemon, you know? The way that the Pokemon look, you know what I mean? I mean, they're just like perfect, immaculately drawn and I suppose engraved on this nice like metal, you know, pins. And then they have this really nice matte finish to them where like it still pops, but it has that nice, smooth, kind of dull matte look. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And then the way they're placed on this like sort of red, you know, felt on this little display case that they came in. I mean, now again, I had them for many years, and when we got them, we were little kids and we didn't really understand the idea of, you know, collectibles. What does that mean to a kid? You know what I mean? What do you mean you don't want to take it out of the box? 3 of the pins are missing, and if I remember correctly, they were the 3 legendary birds, Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. And I have no idea where these pins are. I bet my brother doesn't know either. Who knows what we did with them, but they're gone forever, lost, no idea. And this brought me back to when I was a freshman in high school. My freshman English teacher, or humanities, taught us about this kind of Japanese aesthetics. There was this idea that finding the beauty in the sort of the imperfect, if you're collecting something, it's actually beautiful that you don't have the full set. And I guess the concept is wabi sabi, or it comes from this. Again, I'm no expert in Japanese, whatever that you want to call this philosophy. Wabi sabi, basically, wabi means a transient or stark beauty, and sabi means like a aged or patina beauty, if you will. If you go deeper into this idea, there's a concept, or there's a word called fukinse, which means something, again, like a asymmetrical or irregular. And so it relates back to this, that, you know, there's a sort of beauty in the missing of it. This comes from the concept, the idea that, you know, the universe is always transient, always changing. And instead of longing for everything to be perfect, it's more about finding the beauty in the transient nature of the universe. So I kind of thought of that when I was looking at these pins and rediscovering these pins as an adult and saying like, oh wow, these are really beautiful, and realizing that I was missing 3 of them and sort of saying like, well, hey, remember that thing that you learned in your freshman English humanities class? I think it definitely relates here. And finally, before I get too philosophical here, also in high school I discovered that underneath this is hollow, and you could take it out and you could hide something in there. And so I chose to hide my weed in there. And actually, when you open it up and flip it over, there are still like a ton of weed particles in there from when I was like, you know, 16 years old. And these weed particles are definitely like 10, you know, 12, 15 maybe years old. I kind of like that they're still in here, and you know, I can flip it open and it still has these weed particles. And I just thought that was really cool. But anyway, so that's my video on Pokemon pins, Japanese aesthetics, best places to hide your weed. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyway, thanks.